Hey there, welcome to First Glance with Jody Vance. We're going to talk in a time where markets are full upheaval. Everybody is wondering what the future might hold. A little bit of holding on to our money a little bit tighter in these times, but still there is the gold. The gold. We're going to talk about gold a little bit today with our First Glance with Jody Vance guests. André Tessier is with us. Delta Resources. Andre, welcome. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about Delta. I mentioned gold because you've got some gold explorations and some targets, and people want to talk about gold in tough times. I mean, people want to talk about gold all the time, but specifically in tough times.
Well, yeah, we have a project that's really gathering a lot of attention in the markets right now. It's just west of Thunder Bay. It's straddling the Trans-Canada Highway, and it is gold, strictly gold. We're getting intersections up to 31 meters of 5.9 grams per ton gold.
Wow.
And bonanza grades over up to 2 meters and 1 meter of 130 grams. So this is really exciting.
No
So
kidding.
far we've outlined about 1.5 kilometers of this structure, and it looks like it will extend another 2 kilometers to the east. So yeah, just hang on. We've got a lot of news coming up.
That is those are some significant numbers you just threw down. I don't need to be a specialist in this. I've interviewed enough people on in this lane to know that what you just said isn't like, well, we're drilling in an area and we might be perhaps checking in to see if there might be a sign of. Those are significant numbers. So I want to tell our viewer, our listener, DLTA is the stock symbol for Delta Resources on the TSX Venture Exchange. Um, you mentioned near Thunder Bay, you've got a number of properties. Give us the lay of the land about Delta, how long you've been around, and where your properties are currently.
All right. Well, Delta was born in June of 2019, and so new management, new board of directors. We were mandated at the management to get some high potential properties quickly. We did that with two properties. One is Delta One that I just mentioned, just west of Thunder Bay. The other one is just southeast of Chibougamau, where the target there is more gold, copper, and zinc. There's an old mine right next to it. Um, and that's so really that's been the focus since 2019. We optioned those properties in October, and so far have been extremely active exploring both properties. We've got our hands full. These are highly prospective uh, um, properties, and the Delta One now is just bearing fruit with the discovery of this new mineralization.
I mentioned off the top that obviously, I mean, you don't have to be an expert in markets to know that the global unrest, inflation, war, there's so much impacting markets right now, and how it might impact companies across the board, really. But how might the global temperature, the market temperature in this moment impact a mineral exploration company such as Delta? Is it just, plow ahead and you're making things happen and you're feeling lucky, or is it a struggle at all for the company on the day to day right now?
Well, it's a little bit of both, I guess. Obviously, all the factors that you're mentioning, people are staying close to their money, and that's normal. And mineral exploration, as we all know, is a risky venture. It's a high risk, but also high reward.
Mm.
Very often the junior mining sector is one that investors sort of cut when in times of insecurities. That said, we've had enough success in the field. The drill bits have found enough gold and enough mineralization that it really hasn't impacted us that much. We're able to finance. We may not be financing, or we may not have financed at the rates that we would have loved, but we've got money in the treasury. We've got enough money to continue working, and honestly, trying to predict the price of gold is you might as well just shoot at a dartboard, because it's anyone's guess. So we're
Right.
just, in that respect, we're just plowing ahead. We know we have an excellent project. It's getting bigger and bigger, and investors are now taking notice.
Very exciting. And as we know, every time the markets go down, they also come back up. André Tessier is Delta Resources, DLTA, on the TSX Venture Exchange. If you're madly looking it up after some of those numbers that you threw down right off the top, let's go back to Delta One, if you wouldn't mind, and give us. You were saying it's near Thunder Bay. Would you say 15 kilometers west, 50 kilometers west of Thunder Bay, and straddling the Trans-Canada Highway? Go back to those numbers again, because even I, as somebody who's a little bit of a novice when it
All
comes
right.
to those numbers, they did pique my curiosity, because we didn't have a conversation before. First Glance with Jody Vance is very much live and in real time when we are recording this. So I don't have all the statistics about you beforehand. I know how exciting those numbers were. So can you just revisit how that discovery came to be, and how it's moved along to, say, perhaps 2 kilometers more of this to be discovered in short term?
All right. Well, I'll get you even more excited then.
Okay.
Uh, we started drilling in 2019. We've only drilled so far about 7,000 meters of drilling that have actually intersected the zone. We are, like you say, 50 kilometers west of Thunder Bay. We're actually drilling partly underneath the Trans-Canada Highway to get to the deposit. So that's how accessible it is.
Wow.
Um, since 2019, our understanding with each phase of drilling, our understanding of the deposit have gotten better and better. What we're seeing is a massive, massive zone of alteration that that indicates the potential for a really large deposit. And like I said, so far we've drilled and have observed that the alteration is getting stronger and stronger towards the east of the deposit. We've outlined 1.5 kilometers so far of that zone. And in late 2022, the last drill holes that, for which we have assays, um, uh, we intersected this 5.9 grams over 31 meters, including 14.8 over almost 12 meters. But we've since drilled 2 additional holes at 50-meter step outs. One came back with 6.5 grams over 10 meters, and the other one with 130 grams over a meter, 1.2 grams over 20, and 1.66 over 18. And these were the easternmost drill hole that we had ever drilled at the property. So, obviously it looked like it's getting richer to the east and richer at depth. So we've pursued our drilling to the east. We have since drilled on strike about 650 meters of structure. And of the 13 drill holes that we drilled, 9 of them intersected visible gold.
Wow.
So we're confident that the zone continues. Now,
Mm.
to add to the excitement, we're drilling a zone that's got a geophysical signature of a magnetic low. And that particular magnetic low extends towards the east on strike for another 2 kilometers. And there's never been any drill hole in that. So I should have said before, this property or this particular gold zone had never been drilled before. This is 100% Delta discovery.
Wow.
So we're very, very excited, and
No
drilling is
kidding.
going to continue very shortly.
So now let's talk about your team, Andre. Behind the scenes at Delta, I mean, the geologists that are involved, the business people that are around the table, the decision makers, the how do you manage something that is as exciting as that, and process and take it forward for a good return for shareholders? Who's there?
Well, The team, our chief geologist, our exploration manager, is Danielle Boudreau, who's got 15 years of experience with a variety of companies, and has put some of these deposit into not into production but into development in northern Quebec, now in northern Ontario. Um, I am also an engineer and a geologist, so I dip my fingers into the technical aspects of things, but I also manage the company. So between Danielle and I, most of the technical stuff is taken care of.
Yep.
Um, we've got a board of directors of extremely bright and variously talented people, some on the technical side, some on the, with law or sales degree. And our chairman, Frank Candido, is also very well versed in the public relations aspect of things. So we've got a great team, and obviously we also hire consultants, locally to
Right.
help us out.
Well, if people want to know more, where do they go? How do they reach out to you and your team and excited by these numbers, say, yeah, Delta is the way I'd like to go. I need to know more. Where do they go?
Well, our website is www.deltaresources.ca. All our email addresses are on there. Our phone numbers are on there. So listen, tell your folks to not hesitate and give us a shout directly, where we'd be happy to fill you in and get you as excited as we are.
Make the call or click the email addresses. DeltaResources.ca is the web address. Again, DLTA on the TSX Venture Exchange. Delta Resources, we're with André Tessier. And we look forward to circling back with you and hearing more about your exciting discoveries. It's great to hear some positivity at a time where many people that are discussing what's happening in the markets and with their companies and business and talking about sort of just making it through this difficult time. Very refreshing to speak with somebody who's got some exciting news to deliver. So good for you and good for Delta.
Well, thanks very much. I appreciate the time, and yeah, your folks should really stay tuned. We've got 13 drill holes with assays pending, so these results are going to be coming out very shortly, and I think they're going to pique everybody's interest.
Great. Well, bring them back here to First Glance with Jody Vance. You're welcome anytime. Thanks so much.
Good. Thank you.